Hello, welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Allie, and today is my birthday, I guess like week vlog. I don't know, there's just something about doing a video for your channel for your birthday every year, and I don't even know if I did one last year. Now that I'm thinking about it. Just too, when this was mainly like my beauty channel, I would do like a makeup look for my birthday. But now I'm like, what can I do? Because I just typically do vlogs. It's the end of the year, it's really stressful, and there's so much going on. And then on top of that, I'm trying to catch up on like all of the things I procrastinated, like with my reading. And so there's a lot of video concepts and ideas and things that I just need to finish out for the year that I'm working on, that I am enjoying myself, but I'm finding myself here and there being like, I really need a good palate cleanser right now from this beefy book I just read before I start the next one. Or I'll wake up one day and I'm like such a mood reader, and that's so hard whenever I'm trying to like tackle books for like other videos and stuff. So I'm trying to give myself like those days to just like pick up something that like I want to read. So I'm enjoying my reading more, and I thought a really fun way to do this was to add more to my plate, a birthday vlog. So it's my birthday on the 24th of November, and I have like less than a week away. So I thought I would just start it now. I don't know when I'm gonna post this. It'll probably be after my birthday, but this is going to be throughout my birthday, a little before and a little after. And I wish I could say it's gonna be really entertaining and like I have a lot of birthday plans, but I really don't. We've just had a lot going on lately with family and holidays coming up, and my son's playing basketball. I'm pretty sure he has a basketball game on my birthday. So I don't really know what to say as far as like if this is gonna be super exciting and interesting. I could even have Thanksgiving in this vlog, who knows? But I'm going to be reading what I want to read. And once again, I want to clarify, everything else that I'm reading, I do want to read. I am really enjoying it. I have some current reads right now that like are so hard to put down. But I did want to go ahead and start this. So this one's going to be a little sporadic. I'm going to pop in when I feel like it, and it's just going to be really casual and chill. With that being said, ever since I watched Kpop Demon Hunters over the summer, I'm obsessed, you guys. And I have told my friends multiple times, I'm like, I need book recs. I need books that are Kpop Demon Hunters but are adults. I don't necessarily need smutty, but I want something that's not going to read like I'm reading from teenagers. Like I want something that is more adult, rooted in fantasy. Yes, preferably like Korean fantasy and maybe some like folklore. I just think it would be so much fun. I think I would eat it up. I think that would be fantasy that would really work for me. But like, can we make it a little dark? Like demons and possibly falling in love with the demon. And I have been scouring the internet for weeks, like trying to find recs, and they're getting better, I will say, because when I first got on there, I was seeing so many book recs that I was just like, how is this anything like Kpop Demon Hunters? And I could just be wrong, but I think that they just took it as like, this is a fun fantasy book that has like a forbidden love trope and a protagonist who's trying to save their world. And I'm like, no, like I don't necessarily want like the music concept in a book because I typically don't like music in books, but I want the demons. I want like the, you know, badass like women warriors and the fantasy aspects of it. With that being said, I'm going to just see where this video takes me. I'm going to try to read books that are kind of like Kpop Demon Hunters and yeah, just see how it goes. I will say a couple of these that I have checked out from my library are young adult. So that typically doesn't go over well with me with the writing style and the way things are, or I'm afraid like I'm going to love the love interest and stuff and then it's gonna be like fade to black and I'm gonna be like, no, I need a little bit more. I don't need every chapter to be smutty, but like give me something. All this to say, yes, I will be reading books like Kpop Demon Hunters for my birthday, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you have any more recs that I don't get to in this video, please let me know in the comments because I want to read books like Kpop Demon Hunters. With maybe a little spice. Romance books are just like the perfect palate cleansers for me when it comes to like the heavy books or just strictly horror books that I read all the time. They're just like fun little cutesy books to read in between. So I have quite a few recs that I have listed and probably I'm not going to get to all of them in this video, but I am going to try to get to as many as I can. And honestly, I have some that I'm like, ooh, that actually seems a lot like Kpop Demon Hunters. Like those are gonna align with it very well. Some that really don't, but apparently there's aspects to them that will remind me of Kpop Demon Hunters. So we may get to those. It's also because I'm really wanting to read from like Korean authors and stuff too. And so the other ones are just kind of like more like back burner picks, although I am excited for them. And one that I've seen like recommended over and over and over again for Kpop Demon Hunters is actually like my all-time favorite book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And personally, I don't think it's anything like Kpop Demon Hunters. I think the only aspect that is similar is that we have a dark god that could be like considered like a demon in the book. So that's kind of why people are like recommending it. It's an amazing book. But I feel like if you're looking for like a Kpop Demon Hunters book, that's not it. Will I be reading that in this vlog? Possibly, because I reread The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue every year, and I haven't yet this year. So this might be the vlog where I'm possibly rereading it for my birthday. The first one that I picked up that is supposed to align with Kpop Demon Hunters is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom from my library. This is by
Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Amelie Zhao. Read for
Amelie Zhao. I am super stoked to get to this one because I feel like out of all of them that I have seen this far, this one seems to be the closest to like what I'm really looking for, although it's YA, so I don't expect any spice. 9 years ago, the war between the Kingdom of Night and the Kingdom of Rivers tore. I feel like I'm probably going to butcher these names and I am so sorry. I have started this and I believe her sister just calls her Ying. But Ying's family apart, leaving her mother barely alive and her baby sister to fend for. Now the mortal realm is falling into eternal night and Mao, beautiful ravenous demons, roam the land, feasting on the flesh of humans and drinking their souls. My little soda pop. Ying is no longer a helpless child though, armed with her crescent blades and trained in the ancient art of practicing. She has decided to enter the immortality trials, which are open to any mortal who can survive the journey to the immortal realm. Those who complete the trials are granted a pill of eternal life, the one thing Ying knows can heal her dying mother. But to attain the prize, she must survive the competition. Death is common in the trials, yet oddly, Ying finds that someone is helping her stay alive. A rival contestant, powerful and handsome. Yu Chen is as secretive about his past as he is about his motives for protecting her. I actually have not read the full synopsis. As you can tell, I'm getting more hyped. The longer she survives the trials, the clearer it becomes that all is not right in the immortal realm. To save her mother and herself, she will need to figure out whether she can truly trust the stranger she's falling for, or if he's the most dangerous player of all, for herself and for all the realms. I think because he's a demon. Anyways, I'm on chapter 3 now. Oh yeah, and also this book is absolutely stunning. Look at the map. And then look at the edges. I feel like I need a copy, but obviously I want to see how I enjoy this first. But yeah, it's just stunning so far. I will say the beginning has been rather slow. We're getting the first part of the synopsis, kind of getting the rundown on her family, the dynamic, and all of that. But I'm excited to see where it goes. I have some more to look into. I think I found another one, but I believe it might also be YA. And I kind of want to see how this one's going to go for me, because if this one sticks more YA and is very slow, or I just don't really like, and I don't really feel like I'm vibing with the writing style, it's probably going to deter me away from like any other YA in this video. So we will see, but I don't know. The goal is to just try to find which ones are going to work, and hopefully by the end of it, I will have succeeded and found books, maybe even a book that really resembles Kpop Demon Hunter, but in all of the ways that like I'm looking for in a book. And hopefully I will have some good recs for you guys in the process. What is that? You did it! Oh my god, I'm gonna have a cat piano player. A genius.
To the music and the atmosphere. Now and then I feel lights fading softly all over me, and I remember last year when I was alone in my bed with all these thoughts in my head and living silently inside. It's so late in the
Hello, you guys. It's been a minute, as you can tell. I had to take a break from my birthday vlog because I have been vlogging for November 22nd when I want to post this video reading this book, and this has just kind of taken over my life right now. So yeah, I've had to pause a lot. There's been moments of my days where I take breaks from that and I jump back into the Scorpion and the Night Blossom, but not enough to really check in with you guys. So yeah, definitely check out that video. It should be up by now. Hopefully I got it up when I wanted to. But I thought I would check in somewhat, give you guys somewhat of like an update because it has been a minute. I actually am not minding my time with this. It's not like my all-time favorite type of like writing style. I was trying to explain it to my friend and I was like, it's not that I'm not liking it, but like whenever I talk about not reading YA, it's not that like I'm hating on it. I can tell the difference between an adult novel and a YA novel. The way the characters like think and act and the way that they talk to each other, the way everything is, like there's just a vibe to it that I just don't care for. I feel like a lot of the time when I say like I don't want to read YA or I don't read YA or I want something to be adult, people are just like, oh, so you want smut. And I'm like, no, there's just a certain vibe to it that like, I don't know. It's not that it takes me out completely, but I just don't know how to describe it. Maybe you understand, maybe you don't. Anyways, I am on chapter 18, 218 pages in, and I am rather enjoying my time with it. I feel like it's picked up a lot more than what it did at the beginning. It definitely is giving me more K-pop Demon Hunter vibes, although this is like, she said actually in the beginning, this one's for the C-drama girlies. So this is definitely more like Chinese folklore. Nonetheless, I'm loving it. I love the folklore aspect to it. I do feel like that side of the plot is losing my interest a little bit. I feel like I'm having a hard time navigating and keeping up with like what actually is going on or why certain things are the way they are. I feel like the world building could have been done a little bit more detailed for me. Maybe that's like part of what I mean about like the adult and young adult aspects, because we're kind of just thrown in and then now it's just like forget about all that world building. We're just at this like competition to get eternal life, and our main character, you know, she's in it to get it for her mother who's ill, and she's getting help from this guy who we have found out is part demon. Oh my gosh, I actually wanted to read a part 2 and I can't even think like what chapter it was. Oh, I'm sitting here like trying to scour for this and I can't even find it. I should have bookmarked it. There was just like this really like, I don't know, cringe way about him being a monster or something or other. But ultimately she's like, I'm going to tell on you, pretty much. And he's like, you can't do that because like I've helped you so much already that they're gonna think that we're lovers and that you're helping me. And she's like, oh damn, he's right, you know? So she's kind of like letting things slide, and then there's just been like multiple moments like over and over again where she's in danger and then he swoops in and helps, and you can tell like they're falling for each other, and she's like, I shouldn't be liking him, but he does have a beating heart. He's only half. It's not anything that like I feel like I'm gonna give like a 5-star to, but it's cute. I'm enjoying my time with it, and it's been like a nice little like palate cleanser, like in between reading such a thick book that I'm working on, that this one's just kind of a nice little change of pace to jump into here and there. And I'll just read like a chapter or two and, you know, go back and forth. But I don't know, I kind of wish that there was a little bit more to it. I believe that this is a duology, so I don't know, maybe I'll pick up the future book if it's not already out, or maybe it is out. I'm not sure when this one, yeah, I'm not even sure when this one came out. Oh, 2025. So this is a new book. I didn't even know it was a new book. Yeah, I think there's definitely is the K-pop Demon Hunter vibes that I was looking for, of having kind of like this enemies to lovers type of ordeal, and he's a demon and she's not supposed to, you know, go for that. But also him kind of being like half human, half demon kind of reminds me of Rumi, and the, you know, just overall forbidden love aspect of it. I think what I wanted more with this is less of the trials. I think that is the fantasy slump I get into, is why is every fantasy book some type of trials? It's like you pick it up and it's like, oh, they have to go through this training or this, and I get like it's building like a fantasy world and trying to do something, but at the same time I'm just like, why do they all have to do that? Maybe I just get really unlucky and just pick the ones that do that every single time, but it's just like when you build this up as in a world where there's all of these demons and like she's this badass warrior, I'm like, I want to see that. Like I want to see her taking on these demons and stuff. Why are we doing trials with other people competing on eternal life? I don't know. Anyways, that's my check-in. Obviously too, my hair. I thought it was gonna be done today, but it was a really busy day, and then I forgot I was out of tinfoil, which I needed to be able to wrap this, and so I had to kind of feel like a broken record now because I just talked about it in my other vlog, so if you've seen that vlog, you already know. But long story short, I've been rocking Rock Lobster from Good Young for months and months and months at this point, and I love it. It's a bright, vibrant red, but this last time I bleached like underneath my hair to make it like vibrant underneath, and I just didn't overall like how it turned out. I just felt like it wasn't that vibrant on like the rest of my hair as much. So this time around, I went back to the money pieces and I did my bangs too. But like I said in that vlog, the hard part is that their semi-permanents really stick to like my hair. So you can kind of see where my roots are more like, where they grew out are more, you know, bleached. But you can see where like that red really clung to the rest of it. It is what it is. But yeah, I literally tonight had time to do the bleach it, let it set, wash it out, and then I've just been air drying it. So tomorrow I throw in the red. But pretty much I wanted to include it in this video because it is like my hair that I'm doing for my birthday. Like, I want to have a change for Sagittarius season and my birthday, and I want to take birthday photos, so I'm hoping it turns out okay. I might trim it a little bit too, but yeah, I'm really hoping to take some birthday photos, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see, but that's why I wanted to mention it in this vlog. I also have been working on one of my next sweater projects. I've been making a bunch of granny squares. I ran out of black, so I'm gonna have to go back and get black. Don't know if I'm gonna finish it during this vlog. I feel like this is kind of just like my mindless project that I just pick up and work on at whatever pace, so I'm not like in a rush. But yeah, I'm just making granny squares, and since I've made a granny square sweater before, like cardigan, I know like how many I'm supposed to have, but I am kind of getting to a point to where I'm wondering if I should do another cardigan or if I should just do like a regular sweater. I don't know yet, but the idea is black and white checkered because I really want a black and white checkered sweater. I was gonna make it be a cardigan, but now I'm starting to like think a sweater would be really cool, but I think the holes are just so big that I would have kind of a hard time with it, and I would go back to overthinking wearing it out because I would have to have like something underneath it or some type of like bralette or something every single time, and I keep making sweaters like that to where I think that this might just be better as like a cardigan. I think I'm just gonna go with the same style as my eyeball sweater that I made a little while back in my, I think I finished it in my eyeball. I read a lot of books about eyeballs. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that design. So I know I need like around like 73 granny squares. So I just split it between the black and the white, and I'm going back and forth, and yeah. I'm making some progress. I think I have like 15 black, and then I ran out of the black, so I started my white, and I think I have close to 15 white now. So I am making pretty good progress, but a long ways to go.
Drifting away, then I dream about times I wished for a new.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a hair reveal. You guys would have seen it in B-roll. I did my birthday photos today, and kind of like hair reveal photos type ordeal. Today has been busy because we finally got back on the road and went and visited my sister who just recently had a baby. So yeah, we spent some time with family. I got some baby loving in, and it was a really good afternoon. But I want to check in with you guys because I did finish the Scorpion and the Night Blossom last night, like late last night. Didn't feel like filming. I was so mixed on this throughout reading this. I mean, you guys kind of seen like how I was feeling. I ultimately think I was landing at like around a 3-star towards the beginning and like where I left you guys off at, because it was just the writing style and everything surrounding how I feel about YA books. When I tell you guys, it picked up and it turned around and it became something that I was really, really enjoying, and I was coming to terms, like, I guess, with the characters and coming to really like them. And I think it was just coming to terms with the fact that we're not going to get all of the world building that I hoped for. With this being a duology, I felt like we needed a little bit more than what we got. I still think that. That's why this is not a perfect 5 for me. But on top of that, where this went, and I can't even talk about it because it would just spoil it for you if you haven't picked this one up yet. But it left me feeling so uneasy. Like I was finally getting the moments I was yearning for with this and like the K-pop Demon Hunter vibes I was looking for. And then it was just like it was ripped away from me and thrown into a different direction. And then seeing the title and the cover of the second book coming out, I think March of next year, I'm like, I really hope this author doesn't do this to me. Obviously, I went straight to Goodreads, gave this 4 stars, and hit the want to read button on the second one. So I will be reading the second one because I want to know how this duology ends. They did hook me later on in this, and it's gotten a lot more creative. I just wish there was a little bit more of the world building instead of like all of these like trial things. I honestly feel like I could have done without that. If I would have had like some more like warrior fight scenes with her and more of a plot with like that part of, you know, the whole aspect of it, that would have been really good. But I think we're gonna get more of that in the second book, so I'm excited for that. But I am intrigued to see where like the romance side of things are gonna go. Not a perfect 5, but if you're a romantasy reader, I would still probably check this one out. It wasn't bad. And I'm excited to see where the second book goes. With that being said, I'm still longing for something that is a little bit more K-pop Demon Hunter vibes, but more adult writing, more banter and chemistry with the characters, and yeah, more of the elements I talked about earlier in the video. So I am picking up The God and the... I screenshot how to pronounce this because I knew I was going to have to learn it. Also, if you are picking this one up and you want to know my thoughts on characters, I actually really enjoy Enying, our main character. I really like her. I feel like she grew on me more and more as the book went, and she's a very selfless person, and yeah, I really vibe with her. Her choices, however, are sometimes a little like, what? Like, I don't understand completely what's going through her brain and the choices that she's making, and it is a little cliche, like some of the plot line of where people are falling. Like, I kind of feel like I'm already picking up the pieces of like what's going to happen, like I'm predicting, and if it is super predictable like so many fantasies I have read, I'm going to be pretty disappointed with the second one. Listen, Young, I think is his name. I don't mind him. It's not that I don't like him. He's just not Yu Chen. That's all I'm gonna say. Back to this one. The God and the Gumiho. I'm so sorry if I am butchering that. Gumiho, I think that's how you say it. I picked this one up. The cover is a little misleading because this is adult. It does look a little bit more like YA, almost like anime manga style. This is by Sophie Kim and it is Korean, so I think we're going to get a little bit more like folklore, kind of like Kpop Demon Hunters. This is a fantasy. Kim Pawnee has retired from the life of devouring souls. She is simply put too full. Once known as the infamous Scarlet Fox, she now spends her days working incognito in a coffee shop and annoying a particularly irritating, if unfairly handsome trickster god as often as she can. That god is Seoka the Fallen, exiled from the heavenly kingdom of Okwang. He now begrudgingly resides in the mortal realm, working towards his redemption and suffering through his interactions with the particularly infuriating, if sneakily charming, Gumiho barista at his favorite cafe. But when a powerful demon escapes from the underworld and threatens to end all of humanity, the Emperor offers Seoka an enticing bargain. Kill this rogue creature as well as the legendary and elusive Scarlet Fox, and he will be reinstated as a god. Hani, however, has no intention of being caught. Sioka might be a trickster god, but she has a trick of her own that he'll never see coming, teaming up. As Sioka's assistant, Hani will undermine and sabotage his investigation right under his overly pointy nose. Sure, she'll help him kill the demon, but she certainly won't allow him to uncover her secret identity while they're at it. As the bickering partners track their case down a path of mayhem and violence, the God and the Gumiho find themselves inescapably drawn to each other. But will the unlikely couple stand together to prevent the apocalypse, or will they let their secrets tear them and the world apart? I'm excited to dive into this. It is also 11:02, the night before my birthday, so we're almost to the birthday part of the vlog. I did get to see my mom and some family today, so they've already been spoiling me with some gifts, and James and the boys already gave me mine early. So yeah, I will hopefully check in with you guys sometime tomorrow and let you guys know my thoughts on this. I just started it. I don't really have much to say right now. I'm still trying to like figure out like the writing style and if it is feeling adult to me, because that's what I'm kind of questioning right now. But I don't know. I'm excited to jump into another, hopefully kind of like Kpop Demon Hunters book, because the last one surprisingly wasn't bad towards the end. Besides that, although this is a birthday vlog, I think tomorrow is going to be quite a lazy day because of the traveling today. I kind of just want to relax and read. And so yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of that. Nonetheless, I am excited that it is officially break and I don't have to wake up early and take the kiddos to school or work or anything tomorrow, and that is nice, so I will take it. But hopefully I will check in with you guys tomorrow if I'm not too lazy and just decide to not film. We'll see.
Could reach out right now and save my life somehow. I'll face the sun again as soon as this dreary night ends. Don't wanna go down like this. My head's in a place that I don't miss. So ugly, so grumpy, sleeping in the meantime, just stay comfy. Once everything's said and done, I know I'll be okay, I will overcome. I'm hoping, I'm here. I remember last year when I was alone in my bed, unhappy thoughts in my head, and living silently inside. Just keeping all to myself, wished I could be somewhere else. Back when I could only hide. It's so late in the night, my mind is drifting away. Then I dream about times I wished for a new, happier day. If a hand could reach out right now and save my life somehow, I'll face the sun again as soon as this dreary night ends. In the night, my mind is drifting.
Hello, you guys. Okay, I think this might work. Sorry, every time I sit in front of my window at this time of day, because it's still a little early, the sun is still like going up, and so it just like shines directly into the shades and kind of just makes everything very dark. So hopefully this works. So this is my birthday vlog, yet I didn't film on my birthday. You know, I did say though that this is the video that's gonna go throughout my birthday, and it's just because I wanna read what I wanna read. So yeah, hopefully there's some B-roll there for you guys. It's actually been a few days since I last left you. I just have not felt like pushing record. I think I just kind of overall needed a little bit of a break, and everything else has been so busy that it's just been nonstop go, 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 and very, very little downtime. And so whenever I do have a chance to have downtime, I'm like, every night I'm like, I'm gonna go film. I'm gonna go film. And I don't. All right, so I left you guys off, I think the day before my birthday. It's been my birthday, and then the day after that. So the day after my birthday, we had like appointments. We all got our eyes checked, and then we spent some time with James's family, and then we got my new China hutch that I'm so excited about because my papa gave me the china that he got for his mother over like the years. And my mama was telling me that, I think she said the china is about like over 40 years old. But yeah, he would collect it and gift it to his mother, and then who was my great grandma. And when she passed a couple of years ago, he got all of the dishes back. And when he did, he gave them all to me. And I've had them packed away nice and snug in storage ever since. We even, I think, moved from our last house to this house with them. And every single time I'm like, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm like, please be careful with the china. And I've always said, even before I had her dishes, I wanted to have a china hutch. And so it's kind of like, this feels like my big birthday present because I've always wanted to have a china hutch with dishes and stuff. I just think it's so beautiful. And so yeah, I finally found one that I absolutely loved. I loved the style of it, the way that it looked and everything. And it's actually in a house that my mother-in-law is flipping. And she was like, yeah, you know, we're getting rid of all of this furniture. So she literally just gave it to me. Oh my gosh, it is stunning. We hauled it over here, and then I was able to put up all the dishes. James went and bought me like some little stands to put some of the like plates up to display, and it's just so, so pretty. I love it so much. So that was kind of my Tuesday. Wednesday was just kind of getting stuff ready for Thanksgiving. I was running through the house, like trying to straighten up, and we finally put the ornaments on our Christmas tree. Fingers crossed, but so far it's going okay with the cats. We have been putting the cats in the basement whenever we leave the house or at nighttime, which does suck. I miss my snuggle bugs at night, but if we're going to have trees and survive and keep our sanity this holiday season, this is what has to happen. But they seem to be fine with it, and they're ready to come up every day, and they, I feel like, have been less drawn to going to the tree. I think because they know they go downstairs. So I don't know. The balance of things have just kind of been nice, figuring it out and not having as much stress anymore, thinking every day the tree's going to be destroyed. Yeah, I moved some more things around. We put up a little bit more holiday decor. And that day, I listened to the audiobook of this throughout the day because I just found that this was not going to be a physical read for me. I needed to just listen to the audiobook, and I was determined that day to finish it. I did finish it, but by the end of the night, I was so tired that I was just like, I don't have it in me to film right now. I'm like, I'm just going to go to bed. I got to get up and get the turkey in the oven in the morning. It is what it is. And then yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I feel like just running around all morning. Like, we were getting the boys ready, we were hosting, so like I was doing my last run through the house just to make sure it was comfy and cozy for everybody. And then on top of that, like getting things in the oven, getting everything started, and it was just one thing after another. By time I was getting myself dressed, I knew that they were going to be at our house at any moment, so I couldn't even film then. And then of course, after hosting, having the dinner, you're like in a food coma, and my social battery is like ran out because we've hosted. So last night I was just like, nope. I literally fell asleep on the couch because we're still doing our Stranger Things rewatch. so that we can, you know, be up to date with the new episodes. And I literally passed out on the couch during an episode. This is like, I think the third night in a row that I've literally passed out on the couch during a Stranger Things episode, and James has to wake me and say, let's go to bed because I'm so exhausted. So that is my like little check-in to get you up to speed on where I'm currently at in my week. I feel like it's just now starting to like die down a little bit to where I will be able to be more present with my videos again. So I'm so sorry for the disappearance during this vlog, but if you're interested in some more books themed around Kpop Demon Hunters, I have two to talk to you guys about. One I'm still currently reading, but I did finish this one the day before Thanksgiving, and I have started the next one, but it's kind of one of those things where I started it and I was like, all of these books are way too similar that I don't need to read too much further without reviewing this one. So my reading has just kind of been a little off since, because I really want to get back into it, but I didn't want anything to mesh together before I was able to review this one for you guys. I think I spoke too soon on the last book. I feel like I was a little bit more judgmental with the last book than I should have been, because after I read this one, I was like, what? I will say though, this book, okay, let me just like set the scene first. So this book opens with characters who are grown adults, but they talk and they act like teenagers. I don't know how else to explain it. It's not to really like bad talk the writing or this author, but like I was just very jarred, because I was like, wait, what? Because we have this, God is actually like this detective guy who is being put on these cases, and pretty much he's trying to earn back his, I don't know, maybe like level of respect or whatever, so that he can become a god again. And so he is tasked with these missions or these cases to complete. And finally he has this case that he has to track down this certain, I can't even remember if it was a Gumiho or if it was something else, but he has to track them down because they're like slaughtering people. But on top of that, he is also tasked with taking down I think she's the Red Fox, Scarlet Fox. And he is a fallen god, that's what they call him, until he can get his god status back. So that's what he's tasked with, and if he does these things, he's gonna get that god status back. Little does he know that the Scarlet Fox is the girl who can never get his order right at the cafe shop. We're looking at a guy who talks about having several, like 40-something kids. He's been around for a while, and we're also talking about a Gumiho, I keep forgetting how to pronounce it, a Gumiho, who is 1,000+ years old, and we're talking like we're teenagers. I was baffled. I still am. The first part of this book, I really just feel like they're trying to put as much personality as possible to like have that banter and quirkiness to it to like draw you in, but it really pushed me away. I was like, oh man, I was kicking myself for what I was saying about the first book, because that one was so much better than this. But I will say, I didn't really vibe with even like this banter chemistry going on between them, because again, I think it was just written way too young for me. And this is supposed to be adult, where the last one was young adult. So that it's just off-putting. I will say, as the story like went over time, it did get better, and I just had to like put the romance aside and just think about the case that they were following. I like that the plot was still very heavy. I like that we have this world building element throughout, talking about the gods and the Gumihos and like the bad ones, and that there's also good ones that like just live life with humans and, you know, live a normal life. There's also other relationships, like her friend that worked at the coffee shop with her, and also the people that he works with, like the main detective or whatever. All of those relationships kind of like drawing into the story, really built for a type of like series. And I don't know if this is a series. It says book 1 of Fate's Thread. I don't know if it's a series or if it's just a duology or what, but I liked it the more it went on, but it still didn't do enough for me, I feel like. And there was so many times, the whole like reveal or plot twist, which we are given from even the synopsis, the fact that he doesn't know that she is the Scarlet Fox, I feel like was so like, you're telling me that he is not only a god, and I believe he was like a god of like, I don't know, I can't remember if it was like a trickster god or like of all knowing, or like you can't, it's kind of like you can't pull anything over his head. And yet she does the entire book, and it's like sometimes it's so obvious that I was just like face palming. I was like, oh my gosh, should I just DNF because I don't understand this? Yeah, that was kind of the vibe throughout. I don't think it was until the last quarter of the book I actually started really liking their character, like the building that they had together and like the chemistry that they finally were getting at together. But even then, it was so hard to overlook everything else that I had just read. And I still feel like it was lacking, just like the first book, a little bit of like the world building of really being able to visualize what is going on, why the world is this way, how all of this came to be. I mean, I just feel like there's so much detail that it lacks. And I feel like it would have been fine for me if I fell for the characters harder than what I did. But even the sweet moments, I'd be like, oh, but then I'd be like, wait, I remember this part of the book, or I remember this and this and this. Like, I really don't like either one of these characters. I am landing at a 3-star. I'm not going to say I'm not intrigued to pick up the next one, but it definitely isn't going to be one I'm going to run and pick up or buy that type of ordeal. I think it'll just be like maybe I have the urge to pick up another Korean book, or something that is kind of the vibes of Kpop Demon Hunters. Maybe I'll pick up the next one. Maybe a part 2 video of this where I pick up the next book in these series. I don't know. That type of concept, I could see myself doing it, but just at my own free will, probably not, because it is just a 3-star. It was okay. Kpop Demon Hunter vibes, I think it was there to a certain extent, having a god and then the demon type of ordeal going on, the magicalness of that. She also has like these blades, like special blades she uses, and they are hunting down these other demons and stuff. So there definitely is like certain things that kind of like tie into Kpop Demon Hunters, but the overall vibe and chemistry of the characters didn't give me that, unfortunately. That being said, I don't have anything else to block the light. Maybe I scoot you guys up some more. Maybe that's a little better. I don't have a book to hold, but I will throw it up on the screen for you guys because I am now starting Wicked Fox. This is by Kat Cho, and it is supposed to be a fantasy romance. I believe this one's also, yes, YA. Set in modern day Seoul. 18-year-old Yu Myung has a secret. She's a Gumiho, a 9-tailed fox who must devour the energy of men in order to survive. Because so few believe in the old tales anymore, and with so many evil men no one will miss, the modern city of Seoul is the perfect place to hide and hunt. But after feeding one full moon, Myung crosses paths with Ji-hoon, a human boy being attacked by a goblin deep in the forest. Against her better judgment, she violates the rules of survival to rescue the boy, losing her fox bead, her Gumiho soul, in the process. Ji-hoon knows Myung is more than just a beautiful girl. He saw her 9 tails the night she saved his life. His grandmother used to tell him stories of the Gumiho, of their power and their danger they pose to humans. He's drawn to her anyway. With murderous forces lurking in the background, Myung and Ji-hoon develop a tenuous friendship that blossoms into something more. But when a young, shaman tries to reunite Mi-young with her bead, the consequences are disastrous, forcing Mi-young to choose between her immortal life and Ji-hoon's. I'm excited to try this one out. I'm kind of seeing a lot of 2-3 star ratings from people that like I have followed on Goodreads and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like it is probably going to be a hit or a miss for me as well, but this will probably be the last book. I don't want to get burnt out. So I feel like for the Kpop Demon Hunter journey, this will be the last one I try for now. But I am willing to give it a shot, the benefit of the doubt. I'm ready to jump back in. I had just started it, and I will actually say I was really liking these characters' personalities and the way it was written much more than the last. And that's saying something since these are literally kids at a high school. They were 18, but like it was talking about them going to school. I think it definitely is going to be a lot more YA. I do hope we get a little bit of like a jump, maybe like them out of high school before anything like romance wise. Otherwise, I hope that it just stays very like sweet and cute, and just, I think it's safe to say like out of all of these picks, like this spice is just thrown out the window. I will say the last one did have a little bit of spice where the other was more fade to black since it was YA. It had a little bit more spice, not a crazy amount though. And I was okay with that because, again, I wasn't really digging the characters' vibes that much. We will see with this one. I think it's just going to be a short and cute one, nothing too crazy. But I have had a great time trying out some different book recs that still give off some of those vibes. I like the warrior vibes, the having these powerful blades and like these action scenes and stuff like that have been great. So I do really appreciate that. Not just that, but like the first one being Chinese, the last one I read and this one are both Korean, and I really have loved branching out to new authors and reading about these different cultures, and the folklore that are all like intertwined into these books are so cool too. So if anything, that has been enough for me to take away from this video concept and these books, because that's where I've had the most fun so far. Anyways, today I've got to do something with this hair because it is just, it's a mess right now. I'm probably just gonna throw it up on a clip, but it is Black Friday, but we are gonna go thrifting. I want to go see if there's any new books at my favorite places, if they're open, I'm hoping. And yeah, then we're gonna come back home and probably rot and watch some Stranger Things. I got some editing to do and stuff like that, so nothing too exciting, but at the same time, somewhat.
The world will know you as pop stars, but you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
What makes you think that could work?
Oh yeah, totally gonna work. 100%.
I dream about times I wished for a new happier day. If our hand could reach out right now and save my life
I am finally back, and I agree this video was kind of all over the place, and I apologize for that, but the holiday season gets just very chaotic and busy, and yeah. But real quick, I want to tell you guys my thoughts on Wicked Fox. Things didn't really change that much. I feel like to a certain extent, I liked it. Is it already kind of slipping from my mind? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue this series. I think it's cute. I think it's very YA. Definitely has some K-pop Demon Hunter vibes for sure. I loved the Korean folklore and a lot of those elements, but it was very chaotic. A very chaotic book for a very chaotic time. I feel like this author tried to do the most in the short amount of span of this book. Maybe I would get more from it if I read it physically rather than just the audio, but my head was spinning a little bit. And it's so jarring because it's so YA vibes, but like jam-packed. It was just like one thing after another, like conflict, twist. And that's not like it's a bad thing. I think that it definitely would have its audience. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who love this book and can't wait for the next, and I can see that for sure. I just don't think it was one for me, and I don't know. I just think the tail end of it, there was just, like what I did there, all of these foxes have like multiple tails. But I just think there was a lot going on with it, and I couldn't really keep up towards the end, and it was already kind of like losing me, like interest-wise a little bit. And even like, I don't know, like some of the plot I didn't find to be like all that intriguing, and then some of it that I did find intriguing was like so short-lived. It was kind of like one of those. And then the romance just didn't really do it for me, but at the same time I was okay with that because they were kids. Like, it was just kind of a weird situation. Or they were just very young vibes, but they read very child, like teenage vibes. So yeah. Anyways, wrapping up this video, reads wise, I had a good time. I am definitely on the lookout for some more K-pop Demon Hunter vibes. If you guys can recommend me some good books, honestly, they don't even have to be Korean, although I do love the Korean folklore and even Chinese. But any fantasy you could recommend me that maybe dabbles in the demon area. There is a readathon in February that I joined that's like the 9 levels of hell, and I definitely want more like fantasy with like demons, K-pop Demon Hunter vibes by then. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, please let me know, or just fantasy in general that like give off those vibes, I would appreciate. Not necessarily the music side of things, but more so like having this type of power that they willed to, I don't know, protect something. Badass women warriors, like katanas and like swords, that type of vibe, but like adult writing preferably, and a little bit of spice. Let me know if you have anything. Out of all of these, all 3 of them, this one was my favorite. Out of all of them, this one is the one that I would continue if I do continue. I'm interested again to see where it goes, although I kind of feel like it's not gonna go in my favor. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these and what you think. With that being said, it was a really good holiday season. I had a really good birthday, probably one of my best birthdays ever because of where I'm at mentally, and I'm just thriving the Sagittarius season. I don't want it to end. I'm glad that I somewhat got to take you guys with me and show you some things from my birthday and from Thanksgiving, just holiday stuff, and read what I was in the mood to read. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.